Okay everyone, and hello and welcome, good evening. So, tonight we're streaming Tier 2 DRC F1 stream for Round 8 of Season 8's Austrian Grand Prix around the Red Bull Ring, powered by Milestone. Anyone who's actually tuned in, you will need to probably give me a little bit of help here on any of the feedback levels. Hopefully the chat window will be working as well. So last time we tried to do this actually was the Silverstone 100% Grand Prix for Tier 2. Unfortunately YouTube had a bit of a problem there, so we'll be going in guns blazing. Hopefully Tier 2 will provide some fine action this evening. We've got an interesting track. Austria is a fan favourite, of course. It's sporadically been in and out of the actual calendar since 1963, so a bit of strong favourite though since it was re-added in 2014. Not many corners, only 10, 7 to the right, 3 to the left, 4.3 kilometre circuits, about 2.6 miles. Not too long of a track, but plenty of action. Pretty much a roller coaster around Sector 2 and high-speed DRS zones. So we'll probably see a good differing of setups. Be good to see who's going for high speed and who's going for downforce. All, of course, will play a factor in how the cars handle and perform. We've got I think, leaving the track quite early, followed by who's else has come out? LDW and... not Leroy. Simple, I think. So yeah. So we'll be riding on board with who unfortunately DNF'd last time out at Zandvoort. He's pretty much in with a chance of the title fight. We've got an interesting four-way fight at the top of Tier 2's league. We've got Striker Boy in first on 102 points, Pocket on 92, 81 and Alessandro on 73, with Kiko being the nearest contender at 5th, unfortunately on 48. But 4 drivers all in contention at round 8, fighting for their chance to actually get a championship here. We'll get all the telemetry on board before I forget what I'm doing. First time streaming alone, so we're going to hopefully get some good information here. And Yuno's going straight to the starting of his lap. We're actually going to ride on board into turn 1, into Lauda. Let's see how much he tried to take off the curve down to 4th. Manages to get as close as he can to that rumble strip. You don't actually want to get onto the other sausage curve. It will ruin your lap. Through 2, I can see another car keeping nice and wide. Into turn 3, doesn't dare go any wider to the left. That's fine. Good on the throttle, good exit, DRS wide open, and we're coming down to the roller coaster section into turn 4. So this is where the drivers hopefully have actually put good effort into their setup. If you haven't got enough downforce, you're going to lose a lot of time, especially on these brand new 23 spec cars. The Aston just looking gorgeous coming around the corners here. Will definitely want to be getting a good marker down. He's definitely got a lot of pace, but he needs to perform, especially if he wants to help Aston Martin in the title championship, because Ferrari scored a lot of points out at Zandvoort. So coming around to the final few corners now, through 9 into 10. Nice speed carried through. DRS wide open to the line, and we're going to have a 4.9 from Yuno to set the provisional laps. LDW following with 5.3, and Leroy unfortunately invalidated. Didn't quite see where that happened. We've got yellows now coming out as drivers are starting to prep for their laps. Try and see who is actually starting. I think we've got one from Perryland starting now. Don't think he's blocking the Aston AlphaTauri at all, who actually sets a 5.4. So Yuno has so far laid down the marker. Perryland will hopefully want to get a good lap time in here as well. Yellows coming through the field. This is going to happen a lot with only 10 corners on the circuit. It's such a short track. A lot of drivers are going to have to give good respects to each other, and Striker Boy actually sets a 4.3. That's a fantastic lap for him. Aston Martin's laying down the hammer here. Definitely something they've been dominating with all season, with fantastic pace and partnership from them. As Perryland come through here through sector 2. Nice, and to the right. Yeah, you want to try and stay on throttle as much as possible through that bit. Downshifting heavily, getting on the power early, especially out of the chicanes. Into 9. Lifts quite a bit. Quite a few drivers tend to either downshift aggressively, or they will 5.3 from Perryland. If my voice randomly starts to go, I apologise. Recently, unfortunately, I had COVID. So I'm trying to provide this for you for everyone in Tier 2. So, hopefully... No sob stories, actually. Trying to see. So we've got people coming into the pits, of course. Striker Boy managing to go straight back out, or is he boxing? Yeah, so he's boxing. They've recently just completed their laps. Try and find someone who possibly is starting. TMC will be leaving. Pocket on an out lap. He's got fairly good pace, so we'll be riding on board with him. Yeah, he'll probably be the one next to go. We do actually think... Is Mercedes on a flying lap here? No, fuel. So this will be an in lap from him. Probably just trying to get in as fast as he can, unless he is on a flying lap. We'll ride on board with Leroy for now. I can't imagine he is, but just in case. He's got plenty of ERS. No, he will be boxing, so we'll be going straight back on board with Pocket. He's setting himself up for a lap here. Ferrari really need to get a good performance out of this weekend, especially if they want to catch Aston Martin. Now, we've done the bit of the Drivers' Championship standings. The Constructors, Aston Martin 183, Ferrari on 130, Red Bull in third at 82, McLaren 74 points at fourth, Mercedes 66, Haas 54 points, Alpine 47, Alfa Romeo on 38, Williams 29, and AlphaTauri last in 13th. So, Aston Martin have got 4 wins so far this season. One is second, one is third, with only 1 pole actually so far of all the 7 races. And Ferrari have not actually poled, I don't believe, this season. They've got 1 win, consistently getting quite a few seconds and thirds, with a fastest lap as well. Fastest laps are being shared mostly across the board as well, so extra points could well and truly become so important. We're going to see Pocket actually, I think, abandoning his lap as well. Sticking all the way to the right. Is he siding up for another one, or is he will be going again? So we'll see whether or not he actually will have enough fuel to complete this, but he's going to give it another go. DRS wide open down the actual main straight, even though it's not pretty much that long. 3 DRS zones, of course, around Austria, so plenty of overtaking possibilities. Sector 2 moves can be done, but you've got to be very aggressive on the brakes. Right to the left, getting as far over as he can, of course. Heavy braking zone, you've got to be very delicate on the throttle out of 3. Easy to actually lose the grip on the rear wheels. Moving down the final DRS, technically the second to last DRS for this actual lap. You do get DRS helping to the line, coming through, again, the roller coaster section that is Sector 2. Very aggressive, but easy to lose a rear end on this bit. Trying to get the power down early through the final chicane of this sector. Looked like a good enough exit. You're trying to hug the curves as fast as possible. McLaren hopefully is staying out the way, so we're going to see a very tight line there to the exit. Yeah, stays as comfortable as he can, and DRS open, and it's going to be a 5-1 from Pocket. So this will definitely be an in-lap now from him. And we've got LDW taking interesting liberties off track. That was looked from the camera angle very close. And Alessandro comes in with a 4-1. Fantastic pace. Alessandro, of course, in P4. He's definitely... Yeah, so Alessandro is the last person you probably say would be in this Drivers' Championship fight. Of course, down in 4th place with 73 points. Striker Boy leading on 102. Alessandro has plenty of pace. He's not actually got a race win yet. I believe he has got a few pole positions. So it's just about converting that pace into race pace, consistency, finding those wins, and maybe he can actually... either bring McLaren up, which a bit of a stretch to do, but personal bragging rights, he definitely has a chance in with the championship, of course. Let's see if we can find anyone currently on a lap. Is that Pickle Rick coming round? Looks like he's either setting himself up for a lap. It's a very quick outlap from him, 105. Unless it's consistently doing laps. But we're coming up to turn 3 for Pickle Rick, so hopefully he wants to get a good lap in here, staying right to the left on the rumble strip, which just does make a fantastic sound. I think my noise... I think I'm actually going to turn the... Apologise here. I'm going to turn the sound up. Fortunately, when I'm actually racing. Some of you will actually know me from behind the wheel. Plenty of racing in this league. Some of it for better, some of it for worse. And my audio settings tend to be turned down a little bit, just to be able to actually hear the voices in my head. I mean, hear my engineer talk. You guys have those things, right? It's a good lap so far from Pickle Rick. It's going to be a very good lap, to be fair. Finds himself in 6th place, 4.89. If you have anyone else, I think people are sizing up their laps now. Mick was coming in. Ferrari's going around cautions, but of course, again, people just trying to set up their laps. Splat Beef is a very good one to watch, of course. I think Sandvort, he finished 2nd place. He'll feel a bit hard done by. Ferrari have got a lot of work to do in the Constructors. Was that his lap? So this could be a cooldown lap to come in then for him. I don't think I just missed anyone. So far the running order, however, Alessandro in 1st place. Striker Boy in 2nd. Mick 3rd. Some Thunder Fox yet to set a time with the 16 drivers on the grid. It's just a normal short qualifying, I believe. Not enough drivers to actually do a full qualifying, unfortunately. Fawaz is... I don't think, do we have anyone actually finishing up laps first? This will be a lap, I believe. Karami, nice and tight to the edge. DRC? DRS. We sponsored the rear wings now on the F1 cars. Wouldn't that be a drag reduction champion? I don't know. The voice, the funny lines have already begun for this evening. So that's still a hot lap here from Fawaz. He is doing well his times. 3 tenths up, or 3 tenths down, however you want to look at that. So he's finding time through last corner, nice and tight. No one's invalidated, I think, too much today. And Fawaz finding himself in P4. 104.7. So far, with our top 5, there's not too much in it. 7 tenths. Ascento has definitely split the beam heavily there. 2 tenths to P2. Of course, we got some drivers back out on the grid. Boxing there. We will ride on board with Leroy. I think he's starting himself up a lap here. P8, he'll want to definitely find more time, get higher up the grid. Done quite a few laps already. Drivers are probably now going to be waiting for track conditions. Only 4 minutes left on the clock. As I said, it's quite a short circuit, but it's a very messy circuit. Plenty of drivers on the grid. That's 16 cars for such a short track. Again, only 10 corners. So drivers are going to have to really give themselves a big enough gap and keep the heat in the tyres. You haven't got much time to get them in the window before actually starting your lap. It's twitchy from Leroy here, coming into turn 4. Does get a nice enough exit though, using as much as the track as possible for coming back over far enough to the right. Heavy braking zone, but still need to carry enough speed. It's all downhill, easy to lose the traction, easy to lose the rear, especially that inside rumble strip. He keeps it nice and tidy, gets a bit wiggly on the exit there, but it's all about track limits there. Doesn't matter if it's ends up costing you a little bit, just cash the lap in, especially towards the business end of this actual lap. It can be hard, it can be really tough, and actually just keep it all together. Still 8th, yeah. It was a big mistake there, actually. He lost quite a lot of time. Let's see who else we do have. Is he going again? We'll keep an eye on that. Looks like Leroy could be going again. He will have to. I don't know if he'll have enough time to box and come straight back out. Mick is going to be on a lap now. Did he just invalidate his next lap? So I believe Mick, unfortunately, he invalidated his next lap as well. Again, track limits, as you are coming around those final corners, it is brutal. It will just invalidate your next lap as well, meaning you have to suffer and go around all over again. You can't carry that momentum over. Farwaz with a fantastic lap, 4.3, gets himself into 2nd place. Let's see, do we have Leroy coming around now? So this will actually be his completed lap from him. See where this gets him. He needs an improvement. He finds it. He's in 5th. 1 minute 4 seconds, 0.6. So drivers now really will want to start coming out. It could get messy. Of course, short lap times, 1.5, maybe about 1.10 to get round, 1.15. But you will be having traffic. Everyone, it's track evolution. Everyone's going to be wanting to go on track to actually make this work. Try and find the maximum gain as possible. So we are, Mick, I believe. So this will be the start of his lap. He will be allowed to get to go ahead with this one. This will be his last lap. We'll ride on board with Mick now. We're actually going to go on board with him completely. Let's see how well he does. Bit wiggly on the exit of one out of Lauda, who, funnily enough, is actually the only Austrian driver as well to win here, to actually be the home race winner. Of course, there's not many of those, of course. Not many, especially as come to mind as Lauda, who, of course, unfortunately no longer with us. Say that like as if I'm actually in Formula 1, but there are a lot of heroes for people, whether you're sim racing or racing in general, and yeah, fantastic driver and just everything he's done in the sport. Down the 5th gear here into Sector 2 from Mick. Heavy braking zone again, need to keep the pace up. He's going to have traffic, of course. Will the Haas? Yeah, the Haas does get out of the way. Mick probably thinking he would have wanted that car out of the way much sooner, but there's not too much room in Sector 2. They need to keep it nice and tidy through here on the throttle, right to the line, and breaks the beam, and he's going to come in, and not any improvement, unfortunately, from Mick. Now we've got drivers starting to start their lap. Striker will be beginning his lap here. Not too long left in the session, so anyone on track, this will be them. Anyone in the garage, their laps, they won't be able to, of course, they haven't got enough time to get out and do those. Striker Boy really needs to find a good lap here to get himself up into pole position. Salacento on a lap here. So he'll be starting his lap. So we're right on board with Striker Boy still. And I believe he's the first one out, as He did break the beam first, I think, for driver starting laps. Yeah, just looking at the track map, I can't see too much shuffling around. People are boxing, fireworks coming in, of course. LDW Thunder Fox in the pit area. Leroy on the outlap. Hopefully you might make it. It's purple from someone somewhere. Yeah. Striker Boy is going to come round here to turn 9. See how much he's going to send it through here. Very brave, still carrying the momentum right to the edge. And he invalidates, unfortunately. So next we've got Pickle Rick coming across the line. That's good enough for 7th. No improvement from Cami. We've got Perryland boxing. A Ferrari is coming. Ferrari really needs... it's a 50th place from Splat Beef. Not too much moving around the order. See if Simple can actually get a decent lap in, get himself further up the order. Most cars are across the line and finished. Breaks the beam, he's still in 8th. No improvement, of course, actually from him there. Is on a lap, I believe. What about Striker Boy? Did he have enough time to go again? Will he be going again? It won't matter anyway. He invalidated his next lap. And that's actually everyone who ran the session. My apologies. As everyone has retired. It's such a short track, it's hard to keep track of everyone. It's coming into the order. So here we are. This is the qualifying session over. Alessandro in 1st. Farah 2nd. Striker Boy 3rd. Mick, TMC, Leroy, Pickle Rick, Simple, and Cammy completing your top 10. Perryland in 11th, Pocket 12th. Karumi, I'm really sorry. Karumi in 13th, LEW 14th, Splat Beef in 15th, and Thunder Fox in 16th. So Red Bull at the back of the grid. Ferrari at the back of the grid. Aston Martin's championship contender here, and they are really far down the order. McLaren have actually got a good showing, to be fair, for this weekend. Alessandro will want to make sure he puts his win on the board for this season. He hasn't got one of those yet, so we'll be keeping an eye on him. Ferrari have probably got, not probably, they have a lot of work to do. It'd be interesting to see the strategy they go for. They're either going to have to run long or get the softs on early, something like that, go for an undercut. They've got a lot of overtaking to do, and there's a lot of overtaking at this track. Three DRS zones, sorry. One on the pit lane, of course, one up the hill towards 3, and out of 3 as well. So, no excuse. Ferrari should come through the order. There's more pace there than I thought there was going to be, but we see this with Austria. It is definitely one that jumbles up the field. Drivers find themselves at the top, and people with pace suddenly find themselves losing it. It's so easy to make mistakes around here. So we'll just have to see exactly where everyone comes out. Striker Boy, of course, leading the championship. He's in a comfortable position. I believe we're not getting... Yeah, we are getting a formation lap. I was about to say one red light. I didn't want to start counting them. Get all the details up as we need them. There we go. I apologise for the graphics not being too perfect. Unfortunately, I could have set them up, couldn't I? So yeah, I just can only actually apologise there. So Alessandro, who's leading the field. Cars start making their way around, trying to get as much heat into the tyres as possible. There's a lot of work to do for the Ferrari pair. They're close to each other. Maybe there's some strategy that they can pull out and work together with. But then again, Yuno's going to see them coming. And if Yuno sees them coming, he's got a lot of pace himself as well. I could definitely see him helping out his teammate. Two-stopper apparently on the cards. That's not going to be happening. It takes 30 seconds roughly to pit stop around this track. So we should only see a one-stop, providing any safety cars. It's a nice and sunny day around this track, so I don't think we'll be seeing a change of weather. Can't really see the clouds too well. It is actually a bit foggy. Foggy with blue sky. We'll be keeping an eye on the weather, but I don't think we'll be seeing that change too much. Rest of the cars forming the grid. Alicento's disqualified. He must have missed his pit box, I think. So he'll just reset into the lap. I hope. Hopefully we don't have too much going on there. Simple, I think, missing his pit box as well. And Thunderbox forming the back of the grid. Hopefully they just suddenly reappear in the session. They do the there we go. I would like to see the 5 lights game. And we are underway at the Austrian Grand Prix, down into turn 1. Forza gets a fantastic getaway down the inside of Alicento, and he cuts across heavily. Forza has to take evasive action over the curb. All the drivers come through, I think, pretty clean. There's no incidents, no yellow flags. Alicento driving away down into turn 3. We're going to see some late lunges here, possibly. Mick does get down the outside, and Striker Boy defends that quite aggressively. He's got a good race on his hands if he wants to extend his championship lead, but everyone else, of course, is coming after that. It's a 4-way fight so far. Alicento is involved in that, and right now he's leading the race. Farah's up here as well. He's got surprising good turn of pace for this race. We'll be wanting to definitely get some good results here for himself. Round into sector 2, still not much going on through here. All the drivers have kept it nice and clean. Everyone's forming order, trying to just make sure you stay behind your rival, try to get the slipstream. We do have some, of course, position moves from the start. LDW finding a couple of places, Splatby finding a couple of places. He's up with his teammate Pockets, who've actually lost a couple. Pickle Rick losing out as well to Uno and Simple. We're going to see quite a bit of this. All the drivers have actually stayed quite well close together. Simple dropping back a little bit from his teammate. You probably do want to get the... There we go. Get the interval times up now, because this is where we will start now seeing the field breaking up a little. DRS, of course, will come soon enough, and these drivers will desperately want that. Quite a few using their ERS to battle already or make gaps for themselves. Seeing a bit of a scrap back here as well. Now, of course, 10th place being the position where you can start scoring some points. With 16 cars on the grid, that means the last 6 drivers here well and truly have a right to actually fight for this. The race strategy seems to be changing through the day. What was a soft medium is now a soft medium. Ferrari must be doing our AWS. Of course, as you've seen there at the top as well, we do have DRS enabled, so we'll see if will Forza make a move down into 3. Nice and sensible, well defended there from Alicento, but the exit was quite good there from Fawaz. Rear wings open, as you see the DRS drag reduction system giving them more speed down here. Alicento defending to the inside. Fawaz, can he make it stick around the outside? He's going for it, and he gets fantastic traction, but with Alicento on the inside line, they're going side by side into sector 2. And Fawaz slotting in behind, well defended from Alicento. He needed to keep that position, of course, but it gets a bit messy in DRS, and there is a yellow. Thunderfox has gone off. And the same area Bottas found himself with the world's most expensive lawnmower in the Mercedes. Thunderfox, unfortunately, not quite sure what happened. Unfortunately, he'd race 6 seconds. He can close that gap, but it's going to be a stretch. He's going to have to really just start putting in quality laps. Probably stick with your strategy and maybe hope for a safety car. You can see the terrain elevation changes there up to turn 3. How far down that hill the cars have to come to climb up here. And we have a move coming. Fawaz side by side, this time going for the inside line into turn 4. Heavy on the brakes. A little bit of side by side action there, but nothing too bad there. Forza taking the lead. And Striker Boy is now actually sizing up this move on Alessandro. Within a tenth of a second, Forza really stretching his legs there. But of course, DRS will be coming up in the main pit straight. So we'll see how much pace Striker Boy has versus DRS of Alessandro, who just catches himself there, leaving turn 10. Yeah, nice and sensible there from Alessandro. Nothing, you don't need to actually lunge into turn 1. It's very hard to take two cars side by side there. Forza, not sure, very likely to get any damage going over the curb at the start of the lap, but it can unsettle the car, it can cause problems. Alessandro did take the lead there. We'll see if he got the actual DRS detection point, and that goes back to Forza. So easy to overtake. Quite literally, there will be a lot of overtaking in this race. Positions will be swapping back and forth quite a lot. We're seeing side by side here with Mick and Leroy. We'll go into this into sector 2, see how much room they give each other into here, and Leroy slotting back in sensibly. But he does actually get a fantastic cutback, and he gets the move done. That's a fantastic move. Backs out, breaks nice and early. Mick overcooks it into the corner, and Leroy sends it down the inside. Fantastic move by him. And he's up in the 4th. Brilliant bit of driving there. Suppose that's a Mercedes, just showing the customer car, the McLaren, exactly how that move is done. Forza now will have to do a bit defending uphill. You end up working your ERS quite a lot on this straight. Sometimes it's the longest straight, so as long as you can get the DRS the next straight, you're fine. The deep one from Alessandro, easy cut off back for Forza. And DRS, nice, wide, open. Striker Boy probably feeling a bit frustrated with this. If you're in the top... Oh, God. Okay. Apologies, I saw the, on the track map, the cars all jumbled up there for a while. I feared the worst when I saw that. So Leroy's up in this fight now. I believe he is having to defend quite aggressively. Simple and Leroy probably don't want to fight too much. They are teammates, of course. Mercedes can have a really good race here if they just work together. I was saying Striker Boy. Probably feeling hard done by. Probably feeling frustrated. There is a lot of work to do. If you've got two cars fighting in front of you, where can you make a move around Austria? Unfortunately, it's a DRS, and then we have a safety car out. Oh, no, Leroy. Sideways on the pit straight. That will be a safety car. Of course, it is coming out. Thunder Fox coming back into this race. He will be pitting. Probably go straight on the hard tyres. Hard's coming out there for the Red Bull team. Where that car goes. Nice and simple pit stop for Thunder Fox. Speaking of simple, what happened? Mercedes! Curse of the commentary, I suppose. I look away for 1 second, Mercedes. 1 second! And Leroy, unfortunately, is out of the race. Just don't sing praises about someone. If you sing praises about anyone in this race, they all crash out. That's, I think, what I need to learn for this commentating gig. But Mylander, you're driving really well, my friend, in that safety car. You're doing a fantastic job. I have not just completely decided that Bert Mylander should crash. Farah's coming in early. He's going to be throwing on the hards. Striker Boy following him in. He doesn't want anything to do with battling anymore. Alessandro wants to take the lead, probably following his normal strategy. But on the mediums, we're going to see a lot of the drivers coming in. Simple staying out. Striker Boy also coming in. So it's a simple enough exit, I believe, for Farah's. He is gone. Striker Boy replacing his wing. Not quite sure where he would have picked up damage. A lot of the drivers are finding themselves. So Kumarai gets away with no repairs. I don't see anyone else in the background. I wasn't aware Striker Boy picked up damage. The safety car has collected the lead cards for now. Anyone who hasn't boxed, you've made your race difficult. So these drivers are either planning to just run their race, believe they've got enough pace for it, that these hards won't go the distance. These hards are going to struggle. There's 28 laps there. 28? No, 8. Math. There's 28 laps left to go in this race. That is quite a distance for the hards. Sector 2 is punishing enough. But we'll see Alessandro leading the race, qualified on pole. He'll be leading the safety car restart when the rest of the field rejoins them. But we are going to see drivers needing to stop again unless we see another safety car. Of course, safety cars can be fairly common. It's a 30-second pit stop, as I mentioned earlier, around this track. And yeah, no, unless there's more safety cars, that's what they're going to be hoping out for. Is this short circuit? A lot of corners, of course, that can happen. Check quickly who has, of course, stopped, and it is everyone below the top 3. So Alessandro, Simple, and Cami have, of course, not stopped. These drivers are... I'm going to quickly check. All on the mediums. So these cars won't go much longer on those tyres. So if they're going to pray for a safety car, they are going to hope for a very early one. Otherwise, those mediums are going to drop off. They will need to box. Of course, no one... You know, you have stuck the mediums on. You started on the hards, my friend, didn't you? Safety car in this lap, you know, is going to have to, well, make a lot of overtakes and then look after those tyres. That's going to be very hard for him to do. So we're going to see Alessandro backing the pack up now. Taking the pace as slow as he can, as he wants as well, which he has every right to do, as long as you maintain that speed. But it's important, you've got to keep the heat in the tyres, and you can dictate the pace. Simple, we're actually going to ride on board with, hopefully if the camera angle helps us into the final straight. Safety car has peeled into the pit lane. We should be seeing green eventually, which means that Alessandro will be able to take the pace. Safety car's crossing the timing line, so it has stopped, and he's gone. Alessandro has gone really early, catching Simple off guard. There's a big gap there forming now. Cami, I don't think, is close enough to even make a move for him. Alessandro going way early, catching everyone off guard. I think he went straight out of 9. That was brilliant from Alessandro. Again, apologies. It's like a razor wire on my voice. So we're going to see, are there any moves into 3? We do see a good exit from Striker Boys, making a move on Cami. Of course, those fresher tyres, they are hard, and we're seeing the interesting ghosting there. Tyres appear to be ghosting behind themselves. Apologies for that. But Striker Boy's got that move done around Cami into Sector 2, so he'll now be chasing after Forza, Simple, and Alessandro. There's a bit of a touch there. I glance at the timing board. Sensible enough from Striker Boy. Just backs behind into these corners. Side by side, of course, this is not going to be helping him at all. Let's actually double check. I can't remember. So it's Forza and Striker Boy. My apologies. So both of these drivers want to dispatch Simple and get on with their race. Alessandro, they don't have to worry about catching him too much. He will eventually need to stop. And that's gone a bit wide there from Forza. You can hear that sausage curb just scraping away at the under tray of this car. DRS, of course, probably will be activating next lap or the lap after. Striker Boys have gone on charge. He's got the gap, 1.2. He will be after catching Alessandro. These hards are definitely going to come in the window that they'll prefer much, much sooner, being fresher. You don't really have to wait for the wear to balance out. You know, anyone will take 1 lap new hards over 8-9 lap old mediums on that McLaren. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on his pace. He didn't need to push too hard. He can look after the car. DRS enabled now as well. Striker Boy, all he has to do is keep Forza at bay. He's done that as well. Thought I saw a move from the McLaren. He does go back inside, and we've got Thunderbox back in the pits. That's a new wing for him as well, and that's unfortunate. I'm not quite sure when he picked up that damage. Probably, I guess, maybe something to do with Periland, given how far back he is. And the Ferraris have not made much place either at all. Pockets, 10th place. So points on the cards for him. He's got a lot of work to do. These Ferraris have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of points that they need to get. There's a lot of catching up to do to Aston Martin, which right now are very comfortable. You know, in 9th, seeing off the last points playing position, he's actually going to have pockets for company very soon if he doesn't make any moves soon on Mick. But Striker Boy, top of the field, who's now actually catched Alessandro. And Alessandro spun! He's lost the... No! And he's very careful, keeping out of the way of everyone. No safety car needed. There was no crash, nothing too severe. And that is incredibly frustrating. I didn't see any contact, so those mediums might have just been suffering. He might have been pushing too hard. Striker Boy, he's had his pit stop. He's now the race leader. Alessandro. Another pole position and another race. We might not see him win, of course. The safety car can bring everything to contention, but that's a lot of work to do. We'll have to see now. Yeah, I'm trying to see any damage on that wing. Looks minimal, so even if he does have any, he's best off just taking the... just trying to hope for a safety car now, of course. Any drivers trying to battle through here? We do have a close battle there. Come right, is he going to make a move into one? Slips in behind for the slipstream. Far's nice on the inside, heavy on the brakes. Side by side with Striker Boy in turn 3. So this is your fight for the lead. 22 laps remaining. Faraz and Striker Boy. I can't remember too much from Faraz around Austria. The only reference I have is Season 5 when I raced with him. He did get the win there, so he does have a win around this circuit under his belt. So he does know what it takes to actually win this race. Time penalties could become a factor. That's exactly how he won the race against myself, actually. So no time penalties so far for anyone. They'll keep an eye on track limits. And hopefully everyone keeps it nice and sensible. But that's always a way. Austria is quite crazy. Sector 2, it's easy to drift wide in certain places and end up actually getting time penalties. And they could become important. They could become a factor in this race. It's a long way to go just yet. Striker Boy down on the inside again. So we're going to see a lot of back and forth DRS positions changing with Faraz and Striker Boy. And... my apologies. Striker Boy actually keeping DRS for that lap. Faraz looking after his ERS as well. Doesn't need to burn up too much on the battery. Mick has got Uno for company as well. We'll see if this McLaren can fend off this Aston Martin then. Unlike, unfortunately, what did happen with Alessandro. These two Mercedes engine-powered cars are going to go into the next straight with Mick Schumacher a sitting duck on this DRS straight. A lot of battling for positions. He does drift wide, Mick. Again, like I said, track limits could become a key factor. You push too hard and it's very easily to just lose the rear of the car, step out wide, lose the grip. And these hard tyres have a long way to go. And Mick is struggling. He's completely overshot turn 1. 3 seconds now he's got to be serving before the end of the race. See if Yuno can get any kind of decent exit here. He has to back out quite severely. He's well defended there by Mick. And Yuno quite too far back to actually be making a move there as well. Don't think we're going to be seeing too much from that. It's going to take a bit of time for Yuno to actually catch back up. Simple chasing Pockets. Pockets now up to 8th. Of course, he won't be needing to make another pit stop. Cammy, Simple. Cammy and Simple, yeah, they will need to stop again, of course. So Pocket will be making a position up. Probably does need to catch up to Cammy. As much as Pockets is actually going to get that position eventually, given the fact that Cammy has stopped. He's got more ground to gain. Yuno, I think, being the only one he might catch up to. Maybe Mick if that time penalty becomes a factor, but it's going to be a lot of work for Pocket to do to score significant points here. Splatbeef, unfortunately, of course, down in 12th. It's not a good day around this track for Austria. Fun Fox setting some flying laps as well. A 6.9, I believe a 1.5 is the track record. So we'll see if that's actually beaten today. I think that's held by... It might be held by Carlos Sainz. I'll have to check, actually, after the race. Bit of fact-checking for the commentator to actually study up and learn something, maybe. Not much defending here needed. Simple's tyres, they won't really catch Pocket. They're 16 laps older than medium. Put themselves in an unfortunate position, these mediums. They will start to drop off soon. I think we got Yuno sizing up a move now on Mick. The CV makes a dive into turn 1 as Cammy does actually now finally box. Those mediums are wearing out. Sure, he does tuck back in. It looked like he didn't have enough speed, but you can set yourself up. The front car doesn't have DRS. You've got the DRS. They've got to burn their battery. It's all uphill. Side by side. Nice exit out of 3. Getting the lead. A bit of a wiggle there from Mick. Probably not quite sure if it's the... Can't be all down to the mediums. 10 laps is old. Is near enough neck and neck for the condition. But nice move there. Side by side. And I think Yuno is going to be holding on to this one. But Mick does have the inside line. And... Oh, they did touch. Mick's got to be careful here. Just keep to the left. Let everyone through. Smart rejoin. And you can go back to racing. You have every right. You're back on track. So that's... You're going to see his positions now. Still in the points. 3 seconds, of course. It's not too bad. You can still actually find yourself scoring points today. Quite unfortunate what happened there. There's a bit side-by-side contact. Piggerick coming in to box. Mediums going on. Nice getaway. Nothing that went wrong there. So we're going to see where he comes out now as well. I think he's going to stay ahead of the Red Bull. It's going to be close. Just behind, and I don't think he has any DRS either, but he's got to get that down the back straight. Speaking of which, we can see the Pocket's now got a little bit of a queue here. Simple's caught up to him. Those tyres, 18 lap old mediums, they are coming alive for some reason. I guess he's past the graining phase. I will be seeing Pockets. Hopefully he can hold on to this. He's got a long way to go. Of course, all these drivers do. Some reason Simple, 18 laps. Don't know where he's found the pace of those mediums, but he's found it. And Pockets has got a lot to hold on to, but it's probably a great place to be. If you're Pocket, you're in 5th. You've had a terrible qualifying session. Simple behind. He will box eventually. I can't see him taking those mediums to the end of the race. And if he tries it... Well, actually, no, he can't. He hasn't stopped yet. He definitely hasn't stopped yet. So Pocket's in definitely a good position to hold on to this. Splatbeef dispatching Kumarai. Nice and simple there. Into 3. He'll still get DRS of the cars ahead. We'll see if Pocket can actually hold on. Simple. Those mediums getting great traction actually out of that corner. So either he's whispering to those tyres, but Maybe he feels that Pocket has good pace and he can just pull him along in this race. Make good ground, but you've got to be holding out for a safety car there, Simple, eh? Oh no, he's just held onto it. Jesus, don't do that to me. Don't give me a heart attack, I'm running on board with you. It's a rear end of Ferrari that you're going into there, Simple. Is he going for it? He's not going for the move. They have gone off though, they're side by side. Simple, every right to, of course. He has every right to battle for this position. He's not unlapped, he's not lapped down. Forget that he hasn't boxed. Doesn't matter. 20 lap old mediums against 13 lap old hards. Apparently he prefers the mediums. But there is a train forming here. And I'm starting to decide it might be the Ferrari that's the issue here. Pocket has got the widest, not the fastest on track, but the widest Ferrari. And so long as Simple stays there, he's going to hold on to these positions. Simple will need to box eventually. But, well, he's got 14 more laps to figure this out. So, whether it's an issue with the setup that the Ferraris have been having today, whether it's lack of practice, the Simple peels into box. Now that will unleash the rest of the pack, and the rest of the pack will have DRS. So that Ferrari is looking very vulnerable. We'll see where Simple comes out at. He might still have a battle on his hands himself. He's going for the softs. 14 laps on the softs, Simple. You've got one hell of a charge to do, my friend, and you have got the fastest lap to go for now. After, maybe, you deal with Alicento, because you've got that into free. So we'll keep an eye on that through the race. LDW, of course, now has come up to Pockets. So we'll see what a set of equal tyres can do. There's no graining excuse. There's no difference in the tyres excuse anymore. The Haas is right on the gearbox of the Ferrari. He won't be making a move, I don't think, into these corners just yet. We've got nice and sensible battle as well. Fawaz and Striker Boy out in front. We've not forgotten about them. TMC. TMC has done really well. I don't recall where he qualified. I apologise. And Thunderfox has unfortunately got a time penalty. That does knock him out of the battle for 10th points, unfortunately. But TMC is doing well. We'll keep an eye on that. He's in the 3rd position. LDW dispatching Pockets. Is there too much downforce on a Ferrari? Even in the slipstream, doesn't seem to be getting too far. Mick Schumacher going through now as well, past Splat Beef. Pocket just holding out. As 3 wide into 4. Nice and sensible, just 2. Trying to squeeze out the McLaren, but he's squeezing back. Just wheels touching, nothing too wrong there. Slips in behind for Sector 2. It's very difficult to go side by side through there, of course. Pocket just holding on to DRS of LDW. We've got a good midfield battle on our hands. Lads are scrapping away. This is all good fun. We'll see if Kumarai can get Mick, but I think Mick might be eyeing that Ferrari. I'll have to have a word. It will, I suppose they won't be on the podium, so I can't interview them for that unless something crazy in this race happens. But it'll be interesting to speak to Pocket, speak to Splatbeef, just to find out what actually happened with their setup. Don't get me wrong, they don't seem to be struggling too much. I imagine it's just maybe too much downforce, maybe went too severe for a qualifying trim, but saying that, Pocket has just taken the position back from LDW. Mick just struggling. Oh my god, Mick! Saves it, keeps everyone out of colliding with everyone as well. That is a moment he's not going to be proud of, and he's got round! He saved it! Yellows, of course, but that's just recovering from the issue he had. Not sure whether or not these hards now are going to struggle. 16 laps. Again, like I said, when the safety car came out, it's a long stint. Harder compound tyres, of course, speak for themselves. The harder actual form of rubber on the car. They take longer to grade. They take longer to actually also wear out. They take a while to hit that cliff. But it's a long race for them. They've already been on it for 17 laps. They've got 10 more to go on these tyres. 27, 28 laps on these tyres. It's a long race. And Pocket is going to be hoping that the scrapping behind him is helping him. But it just thinks one of these cars, LDW being one of them, who can find a way through, charge, and then suddenly you've got a good race on your hands. Nice move there by Pickle Rick, down the inside. Thought he's going to get LDW, doesn't. Smart, only takes Kumarai. And we're going to see a lot of positions changing. Aston Martin of Striker Boy getting really close into one. Backs out. But he's burning a lot of ERS. I think Forza has been leading more. Striker Boy's been burning a lot of battery. Nice down the inside, well defended, and Farwaz will have the DRS getting back to him as well. It's a very interesting battle. It's just a midfield that's just been more exciting, and I never thought I'd say that. These two are going to keep swapping positions. They are going to keep fighting. It's going to be very tight there between them both, and very tight to the end of the race. I imagine if they stay like this for 10 laps, their tyres are going to be cooked. The ERS on Striker Boy needs some recovery, so he needs to relax. It's a long race. It's a very long race still. If this is what they've been like while the midfield's been battling, then I don't know. I don't know how I can watch both, because I can't. We'll stay on board with these two for a little bit. They're giving us a treat. Farwaz, of course, barely touching the ERS and just pulls away. So this has got to be down the setup then. Striker Boy needs to make a move out of 3, stay ahead down the back straight, and then stay ahead in Sector 2. I imagine maybe it's down to downforce again. Farwaz has got a rocket ship of a Ferrari engine at straight line in that Alfa Romeo, and the Aston Martin tucking in behind can't ever really get the move too easily done on the slipstream. That's probably why he's burning the battery, but he should just relax, stay in behind. You maybe see what's happening there actually with that. Farwaz just eking out a bit more of a gap. And here we have the Ferrari train with Pocket, the conductor, still holding on the 5th. It's a fantastic drive by him. It's a lot of effort. It's not so easy. And we got boxing. Splat beef. Softs. It's a long way to charge before the end of the race. Probably just going for fastest lap. He'll have a lot of pace in the locker if he wants to try and catch up to them. Let's try and find any battles here. We do find one. Thunder Fox and Pickle Rick side by side in Sector 2. Not seen too often. Seen a lot of drivers actually collide and go off. He's going to look down the inside and just tucks in behind for 9 and 10. Again, these corners are high speed all the way in Sector 2. Very technical and very difficult to go side by side, even though you can, of course, especially in these cars. The racing much closer this season. The handling on this game much better than 22. Seeing a yellow from Splat Beef. Interesting. But it didn't last for too long. So not much of a moment there. Drivers really burning the ERS, really fighting for every single position here, and there's a lot of points that they're fighting for. This is not a battle for 10th, this is a battle for, well, 5th through to 8th. And Cammy's involved in this as well, of course. And it's not even too far back as well. It's only going to be about, yeah, 2nd, and then these guys catch up. All depends how much battling actually is going on, but one mistake from these drivers fighting aggressively for these positions, and, well, they can find themselves straight out of the points papers, and Alicento gets a time penalty. There's always a struggle. He has got up to the back of the group. It can seem on the radar, on the track map. We have boxing as well from Kumrai. Actually, sorry. Imagine the softs will be going on for him. Some of the drivers on these hards probably feeling that these can't actually go. They must be feeling a cliff somewhere. And we could see a safety car if the hards are actually struggling this much. It will be interesting if someone... All it takes is one driver to lose it. And then suddenly, anyone who's just boxed now, unless they suffer too badly on the pit stops, might find himself regaining with a bit of an undercut and getting into position to be ahead. LDW still trying to make this move though on pockets. There's a lot of racing to do, a lot of positions still being changed. A side by side there as well. And it's, oh no! A Thunder Fox is out and it's a safety car! I'm so sorry, Thunder Fox! Commentator's curse! So everyone gonna see everyone dive into the pits. Striker Boy followers have to respect the Delta. They're not there yet, but they are the race leaders. Pocket comes in. We're gonna see the softs going on all these drivers. Of course, I don't think anyone has any left over. There might have been contact between maybe Pockets and maybe LDW and Thunder Fox. Not entirely sure where that may have happened. The camera angles are so tight through Sector 2, you can't see too much. Everyone diving in. The Williams coming out now. The McLaren coming out now. We've got some drivers that, of course, they don't benefit by stopping. They've only got a few lap old tyres. They may as well stay out. Kumarai, of course, picking up 10th. Striker Boy and Faros diving into the box. We're going to just watch them. Don't think we're going to... That's a very early stop by you, Faros. Terrified of the speed limit in the pits, but very very happy to go side by side and battle with Striker Boy throughout the race. It's a fantastic stop there by him. And these guys are all going to stay in the lead. TMC, again, fantastic performance from him. Anytime I watch TMC, just seems to just... I barely notice him, which I feel bad for. I don't notice that he qualifies quite high. And he comes out of nowhere and he gets a podium. He's a bit like, suppose like the Thomas Muller of F1. Just finds the space and just does his bit, just does his thing and just slowly climbs up the order, climbs up the grid. Pockets has lost out now, he is in 8th. Cammy's put on the mediums, times penalty for simple for speeding in the pit lane, easily done, but that's going to be very frustrating for him. He can't serve it, of course, not under this safety car. He has to serve that next pit stop and a wing change as well. Mick Schumacher, track limits on a safety car Delta. He has not had an easy evening tonight around this circuit. So, now the midfield battles have calmed down a bit. Striker Boy leading, with Faraz in 2nd, Team C in 3rd, Yuno 4th, LDW 5th, Picklewick in 6th, Cammy 7th, Pocket 8th, 9th you have Kurami, Perryland topping the final 10 points paying positions there. Spatfee for 11th, Mick and Alicenta and McLaren's in 12th and 13th. Simple, the last of our runners this evening, in 14th. Unfortunately, of course, we've lost Thunder Fox and Leroy. Red Bull and Mercedes respectively going out under, I think it was both the safety cars. First one that we had quite early in the race, and now this one fairly late. There are 4 laps to go around the Austrian Grand Prix for Tier 2 DRC, powered by Milestone, not piled by... It's been a long day, it's been a long disease, having COVID. But I've tried my best, I apologise. It's going to be a sprint. It's going to be a mental one. I can imagine the safety car, it really probably wants to come in this lap, but we might see it come in next lap. Depends how the rest of the pack catches up. Not going to be much racing, but there will be a lot of racing. Quality, not quantity. Soft tyres on a lot of these cars. Cammy might lose out a position, the Pocket, of course. Kumarai might lose out the Perryland. Those softs are going to come alive. Those softs are going to have a lot of pace, and they don't have long to go. These drivers can burn up their tyres as they see fit. I think we're going to see the safety car come in next lap. Striker Boy. I wonder if Striker Boy is trying to urge the safety car to go a bit faster. Maybe he wants less racing. If you're in first, that's probably the best thing to have. You want less racing. You want to have less laps as possible. You want to burn up your battery as much as you can. You don't want DRS to come out. You want the lead. You want the win. And Striker Boy, I think, might get that. Will be lap 33 when safety car comes in. Lap 34 beginning. 2 laps of racing. We might not see DRS. We might see a good scrap here. No drag reduction system. Only the battery to help everyone to try and fight. And we definitely won't see a safety car after this one. It's too late in the race. It's a beautiful circuit for racing and for scenery and for Tier 2. It's only 2 crashes. Little bit of side-by-side contact. Everyone keeping it nice and clean, especially for the race start. Through the race and through most of the battles, I imagine teams might not feel that way. Stewards will definitely find out this evening if teams don't feel that way. But it's been a fantastic race. And I feel it's going to be a fantastic ending here as well. Drivers definitely feeling that this is it, that this is the final lap. Under yellow, safety car is going to come in this lap. So, much as Alessandro did in the first safety car, Striker Boy is going to be setting the pace. He will be becoming the safety car so he can go as slow as he wishes. We'll see where he chooses to go as he backs up that green Aston Martin. It's a Mercedes safety car on track today, not the Aston Martin, but it'll be Aston Martin safety car very soon. The safety car approaching turn 9. And Striker Boy's not slowing down too much. He's chosen his pace. He won't be slowing down anymore. He can't slow down anymore. He can approach the corner as he wants, but that'll be it. He's got to choose when to go. He's going now. He's going as Alessandro went, into 10. Trying to catch people off guard, burning the ERS. I'm going to see drivers follow to break the beam. There is a move here, I think, on from Juno. He's looking down the inside, backs behind TMC. TMC following through Forza, and Striker Boy still leading the race. No crazy moves happening into 1. Driver slipstreaming. There won't be DRS, I don't think, so this will be how everyone has to fight. Setups are going to be important. Anyone with low downforce will be able to make the move into 2. Cammy loses out, and then spin it. The driver's going wide. No crashing! Everyone keeping it nice and simple. Pockets through to 6th. Cammy's dropping down positions. Pickle Rick. And Spappy through to 10th. Ferrari are going to be scoring some okay points this season. This racing won't be too bad. Pockets will have to defend, however, from... He's got a bit of gap there, actually. He's not too bad. So we've got drivers fighting for the midfield, a final points paying position. But what's happening at the front? TMC is trying to stay with Faraz, and Faraz is trying to stay with Striker Boy. These drivers are really going to be pushing these cars to the limit. They don't have to worry about it too much, but you have to bring it home. Fastest lap set by Striker Boy. That might see that disappear if any DRS comes online, but you're on the penultimate lap. You can't burn too much battery. You've got to defend if anyone gets too close. Might see a move, however, here. Perryland Williams, notorious for straight line speed. Perryland, notorious for liking low downforce sometimes. Nice and sensible, just tucks in behind. Does struggle on exit. Cammy looking at trying to make a move. Mediums won't have the grip that the softs do. I don't think they'll have enough time either to burn up. And there's damage! No? It might have been a break. It might have been a braking board. We'll see if he starts dropping down the order at all. Alessandro coming into 11th. Even with the time penalty, there's a chance he might get some points. He's got to get through the field. Spatbeef will probably want to defend for dear life. Ferrari probably feeling hard done by, but it's all their own mistakes in quali, especially Pockets is on the back of LDW. They've been fighting most of this race. DRS is going to be enabled on the last lap of the race. Out of turn 1, Faraz is going to have DRS up the main straight. And it's all uphill as well, so this battery is going to have to work overly hard. Striker Boy is going to need to defend aggressively. Faraz might just want to do it down the inside. He's going to have DRS on the exit of 3. He's side by side, a spin as well! Spatbeef's spun at the back. So Ferrari only got one car in a points paying position. Forza is through. He's got the DRS as well. Striker Boy trying to slip behind for the slipstream. Can anything happen in Sector 2? Striker Boy has a lot of... he's got a lot to do if he's trying to get a position, trying to get that race win. Forza, I said it last time, Season 5. He won here, Austria. He knows exactly how to play it. He knows exactly what needs to be done to win this race. And he looks like he's going to do it again. Got cautions. There's a bit of spin. LDW's lost out. Pockets is through the 6th. Through to the final corner. Striker Boy right behind. He's burning DRS, ERS, and they're going to the line. And it's literally a 10th in it. Followed by TFC, followed by Juno. It's a fantastic race for Aston Martin. Plenty of points extending their lead, no doubt, at the top of the table. And we've still got racing going on as well. Mick Schumacher coming across the line. And that is your final points paying position. And Mick just loses out. Pickle Rick picking up 9th on the time penalties, I think it was. Unless it was, yeah, Mick and Alessandro both having it. So Alessandro gets a final points paying position. Unfortunately, drivers missing out there, having a bit of moments, probably side by side. A lot of aggressive racing was going to happen. Kurami getting the driver of the day. Probably mostly deserved, but I feel... I definitely feel Pockets, probably my personal driver of the day, getting into a fantastic position to get points on the board. Plenty of points on the board from a bad qualifying for Ferrari. But we have your top 3 there. And what a fantastic race. Fawaz with the race win. Brilliantly done from himself. Waiting until the last DRS straight to actually make anything happen. Leaving Spatbeef with no chance to reply. I can breathe now as well. Fantastic racing by all of them there. Although imagine some drivers probably not feeling the same, especially after the end, the frantic end that was there. Striker Boy picking up fastest lap, of course, in 2nd place. Drag race to the line with Farwaz, who finishes in 1st. And TMC picking up a podium from 5th. Not bad racing there either at all. Yuno rounding off the Aston Martin 2nd car into 4th place. So plenty of constructors' points on the table there. Kurami from 13th. Actually, very good drive from himself into 5th. Pockets, like I said, terrible performance from Ferrari, finding 6th. Perilan in 7th. Cami, Pickle Rick, and Alessandro wrapping up the top 10. And Mick, Flatbeef, ODW, and Simple wrapping out the rest of the drivers, with Thunder Fox and Leroy, unfortunately, having a DNF. We'll see if we can get anyone in, possibly, for the podium. It's going to be interesting. Not one I don't think I've done before. Not myself, of course. That was TMC, so we'll see if they're available. So I'm just tagging our podium finishers for today, just to see if we can grab any of them into the cooldown room, or grab any of them into the comms box, see if any of them want to do an interview, let us know how the race went at all. It's normally something we do for Tier 1. Tier 2, unfortunately, this is the first broadcast we've done of the season for them. It was going to be Silverstone, was going to be for the 100% race. Unfortunately, YouTube has some technical difficulties. Hopefully, this stream has gone well. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed it. And anyone watching back for the VOD, hopefully, you've been enjoying this as well. Any of your moves that I did get, if I missed out anything as well, I apologize. But it's a very frantic track. Austria, very short. Not a lot of corners, but a lot of action, as you guys have proven. We've not got anyone else, unfortunately, in the... Trying to have a look. Yeah, no one else is currently in the cooldown room. Only got Fawaz, so we're going to pull Fawaz into the comms box. See if we... Oh, we do have TMC, actually. We'll grab Fawaz afterwards. TMC, I've just grabbed you. I apologize. You were mid-conversation.
I was making a meme, but...
You were making a meme.
I was making a meme.
I hope it's nothing nefarious. How are you feeling? Third place from fifth. A fantastic drive.
I'm feeling absolutely fabulous.
Was it the safety car that helped you out there? What happened?
The safety car did jack shit. I was easily cruising there, P3, 3 seconds back to the leaders, like having a 12-second advantage over Juno, and then someone died. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
No, that's totally not gonna cause chaos. And then my teammate gets dive bombed in the last lap. Yay!
It was so difficult. I tried to. I saw something happen on the track map. Unfortunately, I did miss it. So yeah, you were cruising. I saw that after the first safety car. It seemed to be that there was a bit of a gap between yourself, the rest of the midfield. Which, by the way, I don't know if you're aware too much, but that midfield battle was. They were all losing so much time. You didn't have anyone to race with most of the race, did you?
No, after the first safety car, I had to get past. Kami and I don't know who the second. I think Simple was the second one, and then
Was it? Yeah.
And then I had a 3-second gap to the leaders, and they pulled each other with the DRS, and then that kind of went along with that. The midfield battle, LDW was in it, and I don't know. I actually had a broken front wing with the first safety car because of the. I don't know what people sometimes do. There's just like, okay, we park in the hairpin now, and then let's see what happens behind us.
Yeah, that was some crazy defending. Did you have a chance maybe to go on the attack at Forza and Striker at the end? Maybe feeling like there was a chance of more than just the podium.
There probably was the chance if we stayed on the hards, because I'm relatively decent with low grip and degrading tires, but on same tires, same probably fuel, same ERS, and fresh grippy softs, there was just nothing. I just focused on, okay, let's get Juno out the DRS that I'm safe for the last lap, and then let's just get it over with.
No, it's a fantastic drive. How are you feeling, though, for Spain next week? Of course, the EA has apparently fixed the track, so we've added it back to the calendar. I'm not aware too much myself. How are you feeling for Spain?
Well, Spain was my best track when I was in Tier 1 last season. Well, at least pace-wise, so I'm actually feeling rather confident about it.
Fantastic. I was going to say, great drive. I may have made a comment in the race. I have a habit of not noticing you, but you do fantastic drives. You always appear to come out of nowhere and get podiums. So, brilliant drive today and fantastic. Maybe, if there's another stream, we'll see you on the podium next week.
Well, that depends on you, though. Also, what do you mean podiums? This was my first one.
I mean, like, I've felt previously, like, I think it was Qatar last season, was it? I think you came from, like, last to podium or something like that.
No.
I'll have to rewatch some of the stats. Don't mind me.
Ollie went back off the grid to podium in Singapore, I think, if I remember right.
I'll have to rewatch some of them. But no, it was a fantastic drive by yourself, and yeah, hopefully Spain, same for yourself.
I hope as well. I also hope that you're just gonna commentate. Otherwise, I'll find you.
Oh no. Well, unfortunately, in that case, I might lock the door on your way out if the security is going to grab you now. So we're going to interview the rest of them, and I'm going to lock my door in real life as well. No, fantastic, mate. I'll catch you in a bit.
Okay.
Bring Striker Boy in here now as well. Striker Boy, are you there?
I hope so.
You hope so?
I hope so.
Oh no! What? Who is this then?
It's a me.
Oh no! Striker Boy, you led a fantastic race. You didn't get I can't remember where you qualified. Where did you qualify again? Was it third or?
Third.
Yeah.
I messed up my lap.
No, it was still good. Sento got pole, but then you found yourself leading the race, and then you found yourself battling Fawaz for most of the race on what are probably I can describe as aging hards would be very generous. Talk me through that. Every single lap, I think you guys were side by side or fighting to try and do something.
Yeah, I had to. I think I might be getting a penalty.
Oh.
For an incident, so I had to try and pull the gap to TMC.
Oh dear. Well, you don't have to say anything that will incriminate yourself, of course. Your team principals can work together to try and sort that one out. I have to ask it. I didn't think we were going to see a DRS the last lap. How did you feel? You were leading on the penultimate lap, and you cross the line, and you see DRS enabled.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. There was me, Juno, Pockets, and Splat basically talking about it in the chat all the way through. And so I knew it was happening, and I decided to just let Fawaz go. There was no point in fighting it. He was just so much quicker on the straights, and I had absolutely no battery left.
His straight line speed did look crazy. I saw you trying to use the battery quite a lot. Were you tempted to try any mind games? Like, he got DRS and the inside line out of 3 on the last lap. Were you tempted to just try and lift early, do anything to kind of maybe play a battle there, or?
Not really. I was mainly focusing on trying to build a gap, and I decided the best way would just be to let Fawaz take the lead, follow him as much as I can, and then let the guys behind do their own thing.
No, it's very sensible. Well, we'll keep an eye on the stewards room, I suppose, for that one. But no, it's a fantastic race. You've got, well, a lot more points now at the top of the table for yourself personally, and also for Aston Martin, who have definitely extending their lead on Ferrari after what could be described as a recovery drive from a terrible qualifying. How are you feeling for your chances? It's very close at the top of the drivers' standings, and very close. Well, not very close, actually. It's getting a bit more distant now for the constructors. How are you feeling for both of those?
I feel pretty confident for the constructors. Obviously, Juno, as a teammate, pretty much the perfect pairing, I would consider, not to sound cocky or anything. And then for the drivers, I don't know. It's all about consistency, and the little mistakes that I made, like today, don't make it any better. But I definitely feel like I can at least be a contender until the final race like last season, and hopefully it'll just work out.
Well, it was pending any penalties. It was, I think it puts you to 121 points, and Pocket, I think, only got 5th or 6th, so it's a bit of a gap you're breaking there. Do you think you can hold that into Spain?
Oh god, it's Spain.
Yeah, Spain next week, my friend.
Oh my god. Can't wait to jump out the pit lane.
It's been fixed, it's fine. EA, when do they mess anything up?
Since they were created, I guess.
No, that's understandable. But any thoughts for Spain then, other than that?
I just hope that I don't absolutely kill anybody else or myself and have a good race.
No, thank you very much. And it was exciting end to the race as well. You definitely gave Fawaz a lot to try and fight for just to get that win.
Maybe exciting for you, absolutely awful for me.
Well, recently terrible throat, so we'll see. We've got to wrap this up eventually. So thank you so much, and hopefully, if there's another stream, we'll see you next week as well.
Thank you. See ya.
We are now just going to grab our race winner, Fawaz, into the commentary box. Fawaz. That's a brilliant drive again from you. How are you feeling?
It was great, man. I enjoyed the race. A lot of fun battles.
Yeah?
The incident in front of me with Striker and Elisento, but I take it.
How are your arms feeling? There was a lot of battling. You and Striker staying within a second of each other the entire race, even into the final safety car.
Yeah, it was. I thought he was saving his battery behind me, so I let him buy a few times to save my battery, but it wasn't necessary. He was also pushing. I was pushing. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and also the battle with Elisento was fun, but unfortunately he spun out. So I think the 3A battle would be more great, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we can't sort of like grab random tidbits and interview other people randomly everywhere because, well, I don't think Elisento will want to speak to me because I maybe did a bit of commentators cursing on him. So we'll see for next time. But Fawaz, I need to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, I didn't think we were going to see DRS at the very end of the race. People were talking about it. Apparently, Striker, his team had decided that there definitely probably was going to be. Talk me through it. You're fighting the entire race. The safety car's just come out. Fresh softs under you. You're trying to stay as close as you can to Striker Boy. He's got considerably more downforce than yourself, but you just haven't got that straight line speed with the slipstream to actually make a move. You see your DRS is enabled last lap. What are you thinking?
I didn't expect also to be the DRS be enabled, but it was this first straight. I didn't think I passed him there. I don't know, but I was trying to be a little of the back for the detection zone. Then after the detection zone, I had DRS, and then it was easy, man. And then after that DRS, after I passed him, bro, I was stressing so much. My heart was beating so fast to go to the last few corners to the finish line, bro. It was it was stressful, bro.
Trying to keep yourself out of any mistakes, just keep it on track.
Yeah, and this track was so slippery, bro. I had this whole weekend. I had the problem with spinning tires, and I don't know, everything was so slippery. But fortunately, I keep the car on track, so that's also good.
I was gonna say, so the hards, you guys had to go so long in those hards. I was thinking that they must. Well, I was saying to Striker Boy to call them wearing is generous. They must have been like driving on ice towards the end of the race. Talk me through that, because you and Striker did not let up the entire race pushing each other.
Yeah, bro, it was ice, bro. It was so slippery everywhere. But I had in mind that the cars behind me also had the same problems, because only 4 or 5 cars didn't pit in that safety car. So if I have the problem, the other guys also. So I took it more easily. I was driving with my head not to make any mistakes, and to keeping your head down and driving with your head is really the key to success. So that's how I got it.
It was a fantastic night. No, congratulations on your race win.
Can I do some shout-outs,
well? Feel free. You won the Austrian Grand Prix. Go ahead.
SO to Almere City. Ajax is heel slecht bezig. And Free Palestine, of course. Thank you very much.
Oh dear, you've made it political.
Yes.
I have now been probably fired from being commentator for allowing political statements on DRC. But no, in all seriousness, mate, well done. Great drive, and you made it entertaining throughout the entire way.
Thanks, mate.
I wanted to say one more thing,
but
you've muted. Sure. I was just going to say, Spain next weekend. How are you feeling about that one?
Oh, yo, bro. Those enemies need to keep their asses ready, bro, because I'm going to get so much points there. It's my favorite track, bro. I love it.
Fantastic. And now, thank you so much. It's been a great evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of it.
Yes, thank you, mate.
And wow, okay, it's a bit first time actually solo interviewing, so I apologise for that. But no, it's been a fantastic evening. It's been a fantastic race, and we can finally just cool down, finally relax. But that has been the DRC Austrian Grand Prix Round 8 Season 8, sponsored by Milestone. You can join us at Digital Racing Championship. Of course, you can check out our website. I can't tell if anything is on the stream currently, but we definitely have links, of course. Let me just try and find them. They are on the description as well. Where the hell is... Anyway, but either way, you can join the Discord at https://discord.gg/digital racing if you want to join in the action, if you want to check out any of the racing as well. Not just Formula 1, we've got AC and Forza as well. Otherwise, I've been Wilton Wild. Thank you so much for tuning in.